Tonight's delight is Cigar Don Lino 1989. Very dark, almost black cigar. Well, this is a Miami cigar. If you can see it, it's kind of square, little square shape. Very strong smell. Yes, maybe a slight little bit of licorice on it. And I shall read a little description on this. This is Don Lino, 1989 Maduro. Well, it is very Maduro. Origin, well, it says Dominican Republic, but I think it's sold to a Miami distributor. The size is 5 by 50. It's a Robusto. Connecticut wrapper, broadleaf. Binder, Indonesian. Filler, Colombia, Nicaragua, and Mexico. And it says the flavor and some of the specialities of the cigar. The initial flavor and notes of this cigar are nuts with some coffee. I don't know, maybe. It says here, nothing special here, but enjoyable at the same time as we approach the second third of the cigar. Well, that's got to be around here, maybe somewhere. The coffee notes really begin to shine through. As we finish the cigar, the notes of coffee remain with a touch of earth. Well, notes are not my words. I would use like hints of coffee rather than notes. So, okay, I'll take this out, and I want to show you some of my cigar cutters, my collection. This is a cigar cutter I used in the 70s with the Eden cigar. Just pull this open, and you stick your cigar in there and it made a little notch. Well, I don't use this anymore because that small notch really doesn't give me a good draw on a cigar, but this is my cutter from the 70s. And this is an assortment of the cutters I got today. This one, I haven't used it yet. This is the one I use right now because it has a little bit more spread on, it's longer. And this is another one I haven't opened up the package yet. With the order of cigars, I said, well, we're going to send you a cigar cutter. I said, I got plenty of cigar cutters. Now we're going to send you one anyway. Okay, so I got this one. And then, as you saw in my previous reviews of cigars, this is my lighter. I find this the best lighter of all, and it's good for the barbecue too. But the flame stays long, and it works out perfectly. Of course, to take this out to a club or something where you can smoke a cigar, well, you know what, maybe Homeland Security will arrest you carrying something like this. But it's strictly for home. Alright, I'll get my glass of Merlot or white wine or whatever it is. Excuse me. Cut the tip on this and get started and get back with you. Well, we're in Fuego here. Got my cup of wine in my insulated cup, and it lit up very fast. This is one of the fastest lighting cigars I've ever had. Usually I have to really suck on this thing to get it going, but this lit up quick. For a Maduro, it has a very mild taste and lots of flavor. I mean, it has so much flavor, you might well call it food. So I'll go out and watch one of my videos and get back with you and see if I can rummage up a story. The Don Lino 1989 is a very enjoyable cigar. Even though it's Maduro, it has a mild taste. Very pleasurable. I would rate this in the low 90s. Because usually when I get a Maduro cigar, it is very dry and harsh to where it almost makes me cough when I get halfway through the cigar. Well, this is another cough. but makes me cough halfway through the cigar, and I have to put it out because I can't handle it anymore. But I got my jacket on because when I go out in the patio, the mosquitoes love me. And I have to put the jacket on because they like to bite me on my back. So this is my mosquito protection. But I want to tell you a story about sharks. My wife and I were on a cruise, and we were in a port in Mexico in the Cozumel area, and I was just looking over the side. We're docked, and I see this huge shark swimming next to the ship, and I was very glad I was up on the deck looking down at this shark. I mean, this thing was big, and I'm just watching it swimming around, and it stayed around for about 5 minutes and just kind of wandered off. So we went on a tour to Xcaret, which is you take a tender over to Playa del Carmen, and then you get on the bus and you go over to Xcaret, which is a park, and you do your thing over there. And part of the tour was taking us to the beach. So I'm a swimmer, but you know, snorkeling, I only do that occasionally, especially on a tour. So, but I rented snorkel equipment on the beach. And I was a little worried about it because I read just recently at that time about shark attacks in Mexico. So I put on you know, my gear, and I'll show you a picture of myself in the water at that time. So I put on my fins and my snorkel mask, and I'm looking around. I said, I want to go out a little bit and you know, take a look at the pristine view underneath the water. But I was thinking, you know, I would like to go out with a bunch of people, because if a shark ever shows up, hey, they got something to pick from, not just me. But there was no one around to go out with, so I said, okay, what the hell, I'll take a chance and go out. And I'll go out, say maybe about a quarter mile, somewhere along that, and take a look around at what's underneath the water. So I'm going around, and I got my mask down, and I'm looking, and I'm enjoying myself. And suddenly I see this huge black thing come within about 4 or 5 feet of me. It was about 6 foot long, and it just went right by me, and that scared the hell out of me because I was out there by myself. You know, and I said to myself, get back to shore. So I started swimming towards shore, and I saw what it was a group of scuba divers learning how to scuba dive. And they all had these black outfits on from neck to foot, and they were diving in and swimming around. And actually what I saw was one of these scuba divers swimming right past me, but I could have swore at that time I was shark bait. So that's my shark story. Luckily I survived it. He didn't attack me. So I will go back in the patio and keep my mosquito protection on and finish my Don Lino 1989. Very enjoyable. Not harsh. A real pleasure. I'm down to the butt end of my Don Lino 1989. When I smoke it down this far, that means I'm enjoying it. It was as good as the first light, right down to here. And for those who are new to cigar smoking, just a note to let you know, when you put out a cigar, never put it in the ashtray and butt it out like a cigarette. Take it and just lay it down in the ashtray and let it burn out on its own. That way you don't get all this horrible smoke and smell billowing up in the air.